Sextus Propertius was a Roman poet of the Augustan age. Born around 50 to 45 BC, he died shortly after 15 BC, and his renown and fame rests on his ability to write romance. Sextus would captivate Romans with passages like, "Thy love has buried all others, nor has any woman after thee put sweet fetters upon my neck." But perhaps Sextus's most enduring proverb is, "Absence makes the heart grow fonder," describing the feeling of greater affection between friends and lovers who are kept apart. This phrase has endured for millennia, and there's no shortage of evidence that friends and lovers can feel a closer bond when they're apart. But what of Cold Cans Nation and its hosts? After nearly 6 months of radio silence on the RSS feeds, we're back. Our hearts grow fonder for each other, Nick, as well as for our audience. Mm-hmm. And we ring in 2022 with a brand new episode of Cold Cans, where we try holiday seltzers.
That was a beautiful intro. As always, it's glad to be back and to hear your sweet voice again.
Wow. We haven't been absent for one another, but sometimes we're not recording.
I haven't seen you since July.
July?
The last recording.
Yeah. Well, Happy New Year, Nick.
Happy
Get untangled
New Year.
from your headphones.
All wrapped up in blue.
All wrapped up in blue.
Yes.
Do they? Is that a saying?
Yeah. Yes, it's good to be back. Happy 2022.
I'm so excited for 2022.
2022 you.
After what we've been through the last couple of years.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Good things around the corner.
That's right. The calendar turns and my life changes.
Yes. New year, new me. We can't keep doing that. The new year, new me. How many years have we been
want
saying
to have
that?
hope as people.
I know.
We want to believe. Without making any change to our routines or habits or attitudes, we think we can change.
Well, we simply aren't going to change in December, but when the calendar turns, we'll have different perspectives. We'll work out. Do you have any resolutions, Nick?
You know, I'm trying to create some more habits, some more structure to my days.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of just like loose open time where I can do my work at any time or do whatever I want at any time. And I think putting some more structure around that will be a good basis for a good year. So that's my sincere one, is that for the new year. How about you?
Is sincere. I am trying to focus a little bit more on my health. I've had some not bad health issues, but my 30s are coming.
Why are we restarting Cold Cans if you're focused on your health?
Well, you're looking for structure. I'm looking for health, gut structure. I'm looking for structure in my stool.
Oh,
you talked about loose open days. I got loose open.
So on the scat scale, you're in the 7 territory, and you want to get back into the 4s and 3s. Oh, the 1s. The rock hard little pebbles.
Okay. We don't need to do more of this, but honestly, gut health is one of the things. I'm trying to be better about my diet. Not necessarily, honestly, to lose weight, just to literally kind of feel better and get a good feel for what kind of foods make me feel good or bad. I think I'm coming to realize now into my 30s that I'm no longer this tank of a gut that can just have whatever I want at any point and more or less feel the same the next morning.
The gut gets pickier.
It gets much pickier, and I'm gonna hone in on that.
Nice.
That probably will hopefully make me feel better and maybe lose a couple of pounds. But at the same time, the most important thing is I want to be at the end of 2022. I want to have a feeling. It is structure of what my kind of lifestyle in terms of diet and maybe even fitness should be.
Yeah, I think that's an admirable goal and something you could build on, for your life, or that will impact the rest of your life, knowing what makes you feel good and what doesn't.
And if I can kind of establish that and define it, then it'll just be a second nature thing. I won't have to struggle and think about oh shit, I'm not supposed to have this kind of food. If it's just enough of a rhythm, and maybe that's the same thing as what you're talking about, enough of a structure that you can kind of plug your life into, you'll take away a lot of the maybe anxious, the randomness that can plague us with the digital world, with the cell phones and the notifications.
We're so overwhelmed. There's so much going on, Joe.
we're overwhelmed. We need to be a bit more meditative in 2022. As we hopefully emerge into the world. It is weird. Like, I do feel more overwhelmed, anxious, and kind of like more is coming at me when I spend big swaths of time just at home, when I'm not out in the chaos of the world.
Yeah.
To me, the digital chaos far outweighs the idea of like being out in the world, going into the office, doing whatever we used to do in the before times, not even before pandemic, before like cell phones and things.
Yeah, right.
That's not chaotic. That's cathartic to be out there, like going to the grocery store. If I have to buy something, going to a store and buying it.
Yes. Love to shop.
Love to shop. I don't want to fucking do Safeway grocery shopping on an app and then have like a guy drop it off in paper bags.
Yeah.
Touchless, contactless.
Right. You never have to see a human.
Yes. Touch my smart doorbell and Amazon will record what I've done at all moments. And it just, we're losing friction. And as we've talked about on this show, friction creates good
pleasure.
Things. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Did you ever hear that Pete Holmes bit about Google?
No.
He does
Pete Holmes, former district attorney for Seattle?
No, Pete Holmes, comedian who did a couple of failed shows.
Attorney General, I mean?
Not the Attorney General.
Pete Holmes. We love Pete Holmes. They weren't failed. Holmes.
I think he failed at a couple of shows. Pete Holmes
I guess they were canceled early, yeah.
Yeah. But he has a bit about Google about how, he basically says like, in the before times, we used to not know things. And now I wake up in the morning and I go, where's Tom Petty from? and I look it up. But before, you'd say, where's Tom Petty from? And you wouldn't know. And you'd go and ask people.
Right.
At
you
the
could have
coffee shop
conversations or debates.
And
yes.
You'd ask your friend, where's Tom Petty from? Your friend would go, I don't know where Tom Petty's from. And then they're filled with wonder and excitement about this unknown mystery. And then you go to like a restaurant and you ask the waiter, hey, where's Tom Petty from? And they go, he's from Florida. And you're all thrilled about the new knowledge.
Sure.
He basically said, when the gap between not knowing something and knowing something is as small as it currently is today, where you can Google anything you want at any point, then not knowing and knowing are the same thing. Like you didn't earn any of that knowledge whatsoever. So it's just the same as not knowing. And in fact, not having that mystery box element, not having that friction means you don't feel fulfilled at all. It's just empty fucking knowledge. Tom Petty is from Florida. Okay. Moving on.
Right. There's no wonder there. There's no curiosity. I feel the same about, we've talked about this before, but like the photos on my phone have replaced any memories that I have, basically. It's
Nick.
like the things I remember most are just things that pop up like this time 4 years ago. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I was there because there's a photo of it. And everything else that there wasn't a photo of gets like thrown to the wayside.
Well, I think there's maybe two things. Number one, your memory and
two
attention
things.
span.
Give me one.
Well, number one.
One at a time, please. I'm overwhelmed.
Do you want two or one?
I want one first.
All right, one then two. When your attention span and memory is probably going to shit because of the phone and everything, just like the rest of us. But number two, maybe before you didn't need to have that memory in that moment. And maybe there is some magic and wonder about you're out at a party and your friend goes, remember a few years ago when we went to that thing? And then you go, oh yeah, that was great. Like that's nice too. I don't need phone to feed me do you remember the time that you went to the ski hill?
I know.
Fuck you.
I think it's all, in that same line. We don't need it all right there, right now. And it's, largely it is deciding for us what we're going to remember or think or find interesting.
Right. And we have no agency in that. Like a lot, the photos, you're not like looking through photos. It's telling you this on this date or whatever. Remember the trip you took to Florida and blah, blah, blah. That's where Tom Petty's from. It's no good. But you know what is good?
We got to pour some seltzers, Joe.
6 seltzers. So what we're going to do is it's the new year. We have
new year, new us.
A few segments, one of which is sort of this white elephant gift exchange in front of us of 6 seltzers.
Oh, there will be gifts perhaps later on as well, Joe.
We have little gifts for one another. I told you not to get me anything, but
I didn't. I'll scrounge something up to give you.
I actually did get you something.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Okay.
We have 2 different companies. We have Bud Light.
Yes.
They're making their seltzers. If you've been to the grocery store, you've probably seen Bud Lights. They're the Oreo of the seltzer game. They're trying
really
everything. The Taco Bell of the seltzer game.
And this pack is called their Ugly Sweater Pack for the holidays.
Yes.
4 flavors.
So by the time you're listening to this, I'm not sure if the Ugly Sweater Pack will still be around.
Available,
It's not timely, but you'll see it next year. I have no doubt. And then we have a more local company, Three Birds Hard Seltzer from the Pacific Northwest, but they're fun flavors that people will have fun listening to us drink anyway. So,
yes,
here are the flavors. The Bud Light Ugly Sweater Pack, we have 2 choices. We have a cranberry, pretty straightforward, and we have a seltzer nog. So this is an eggnog flavored hard seltzer.
Yes, and just for what it's worth, the other 2 flavors in that pack were sugar plum and cherry cordial. I will say cherry cordial was my favorite of this pack.
Okay.
It was legitimately tasty as like a dessert type thing. It tasted like a chocolate covered cherry.
The chocolate I got problems with because we don't need to have that flavor in all types
form.
Of things. yeah, it's similar to the Oreos. It's similar to Taco Bell. It's similar to this. We just are able to make a flavor beyond any texture.
Like that, and that is the texture does not match up with the flavor. The Oreo wine that I had you try on New Year's Eve.
Nick brought over this Oreo barefoot collaboration.
Yes,
Oreo flavored wine, and I'll tell you what, it tasted like Oreos.
Yeah, it tastes like a red velvet Oreo.
I said this at the time. And I know I can be hyperbolic, and everybody gives me shit about being hyperbole guy.
Yes, I hate that you are like
right.
this.
I should be more dry, but but I'm wet.
You're down in the 7s on the.
If anybody from work is still listening to this, you need to stop. And I've told you shouldn't listen to it, but you cannot hold me accountable for any of this. But anyway, the wine really, truly, without hyperbole, is probably the worst thing I've ever drank, maybe in my entire life.
Wow.
I can't remember because we're at this precipice of we're trying all this bullshit. We used to try all this bullshit. And so you can really get a swing and a miss that you used to not have.
Right. But the novelty's there because everyone wants a little jolt of excitement.
Yeah.
And there was build up to them releasing it online. They're like, the new collaboration is available in 48 hours. And then you sit there like I did and watch that entire time click down until you're ready to order. Yeah, I watched it for 48 hours.
Did you just piss and shit yourself?
I did, yeah. Did a little Tony Correnti moment. We'll have to check back on this. We watched football today, and one of the refs was escorted off the field.
Yeah.
And seemingly no health issues. He didn't have a stroke. He didn't collapse. They just very calmly walked him off the field, and he was laughing while doing it. Mm-hmm. And we speculated he might have had a little 7 run down his leg.
We're fairly sure Tony Correnti shit his pants in the middle of a football game.
I really hope he did.
I hope he did too. But no, so yeah, these limited edition things, these strange flavors. I would say the only other thing that rivaled how bad this Oreo wine was the Bud Light Chelada with Clamato. That was one of the worst things. And we did that one on the show. You can go back and listen to it. It's one of the worst reviewed things in our backlog.
I was going to say, too, we've had some bad things on this show.
We have.
Like that Not Your Father's Mountain Ale.
Oh, but that wasn't as bad as Chelada.
Yeah, maybe not. It was radioactive Mountain Dew, though, with alcohol in it.
I think the clam juice in the Bud Light Chelada is what knocked me over. That was awful. But your Oreo wine was probably worse. Oreo barefoot wine is undrinkably bad.
Right. I think that's, And of course, no, respectable winery is going to collaborate with Oreo to make something that's subtly delicious, but also has Oreo in it somehow.
It's funny, if you go to the Champagne region, you'll see some Oreo collaborators in the small farms.
They sold out to Nabisco,
yes.
Which I would be happy to do at any moment, by the way. I will just make that said. We're starting with a Seltzer Nog, by the way, because I think that's the most interesting one of this lineup. Okay. Because again, like the chocolate seltzer, this is like a nog, which would generally be creamy with eggs in it, but this is not. This is a still
clear
or carbonated water. Yes.
All right. Down the hatch.
Down the hatch. By the way, I'll say this while you're drinking. With the Oreo wine, I didn't drink it, but I used it to make a chocolate ice cream sauce. I reduced it a little bit and put some sugar and fat in there. It's delicious.
A cooking wine for desserts.
Yes.
A strange thing, maybe a thing not normally needed, but that would be absolutely perfect for that.
Yeah.
I think it's also perfect. What you can do with it is dump it down the fucking drain.
You can unclog your ones and twos with the Oreo wine.
Yeah. I think that's a good use for it too.
What do you think of the Nog Seltzer? Now, this is, not the first time we've had this.
I expected this the first time I had it, and again, kind of expected it to be repulsive, and it's not. It's a subtle enough.
It's really not, yeah.
It's a subtle enough Nog flavor. It doesn't have, as we mentioned earlier, that it's the issue with so many of these is the mismatch between texture and the flavor that's happening on my tongue. And this doesn't have a mismatch. I don't know how to objectively quantify that, but to me, like, this okay that it has this texture, comes in this form, and tastes like this. Although it is still kind of like sweet, or it's dairy-ish, even though there's no dairy in it.
Yeah, it kind of, to me, tastes like a mix between a cinnamon bun and like horchata almost. Again, without the creaminess. But there's no weird mouthfeel to it either. It's just very like clean, which I think is in part because it's Bud Light has their system down so well that they can just add a few drops of whatever cancerous thing they've cooked up in the lab to like actual water, and it tastes like this. It's a very interesting flavor. It's not at all what I expected when hearing Nog Seltzer, but it's good. It's not bad. Like, it's unexpected, but it's good.
Simulating the dairy elements of it would have been hard. So I like your.
That's why they didn't do the egg part of it.
That'd have been a shame. I like your comparison to a cinnamon bun. It does taste like that, and that way it's good because horchata, I can drink that, and I'm drinking this, so my brain doesn't have this cognitive dissonance between the flavors and the texture going down. So then my choice is going to create that cognitive dissonance.
Hell yeah!
And I am choosing a maple pancake hard seltzer. By Three Birds.
Nice. Yeah, this is the other intriguing one of the bunch, I would say. And we've both had this one before, too. I will say on a horchata thing, I was just in Houston for Christmas with Alyssa and her family. Yeah. And there's a drive-through daiquiri place in Houston called Nick's.
Ooh.
That's my name.
Drive-through daiquiri.
And
that is your name.
They have 30 daiquiri flavors or something. And I got a horchata one.
Yeah.
Nick. Just intrigued okay. Mostly.
You're curious.
The other people in her family got better flavors than me. The horchata one, it was bad.
Yeah, of course it was.
I was hopeful. It just, that one, speaking of like bad mouthfeel, it was like you could feel the chalky chemicaliness of the mix-in every time you drank it. I still finished the cup. Of course I did. It was $3. I couldn't throw that down the drain.
No, I'm like you. I'll finish eating or drinking anything that I've ordered, even no matter how repulsive
Sludge
it might be.
Trash in front of me. If I paid for it, I'm eating it.
Honestly, maybe I can think of 3 times where I didn't do that. One was Uno's Pizza in a bus station below the O'Hare Airport at like 11 p.m. It was sitting under a heat lamp. And I asked the guy.
Dried thoroughly under that heat lamp all day.
I said, can I have this pepperoni pizza? And the guy said, no, we're closed and it's been there too long. And I was like, if there's no other food options open. And he was like, all right. And I paid for the pizza.
Okay.
And I bit into it, and the sauce was sour. It was like green, sour, like already rancid.
It was drying and fermenting under the heat lamp.
It was fermenting. And I got on the bus to Madison, and I spent some time in the bathroom of that Greyhound bus doing what they explicitly asked us not to do in the bathroom.
Oh, that's brutal.
So that I couldn't finish eating.
You threw that out. Okay.
I threw part of that out. Your Oreo wine, I had dumped half my glass out. I could not drink anymore.
Even though I only poured you probably like a shot's worth of the liquid, you still couldn't finish it. Yeah. No, it's totally fair. Yeah.
It was way too
All I wanted
sweet.
You to do was a sip. I wanted you to try it.
I appreciate it, and I did. Thanks for bringing it too. It was honestly fun, but it just wasn't good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a novelty thing. Yeah. That's why they keep making that shit, and I keep buying it, so it's my fault.
Yep.
Maple pancake. I've had this one before. This is another one where, the flavor, it's like a very mapley flavor to it.
Yeah,
and I don't like it. You don't like it? Okay. I don't think it's as bad as it could have been. I think it's okay because it just tastes like maple, really, to me.
No, I got that pancake.
You do get it? Okay.
Part of it, yeah.
To which is
yeast
like a buttery. Yeasty?
Like a butter. Yeah, a buttery is a good way to put it. Like, if you just kind of took a sip of maple syrup, or if you ever have those like maple syrup lollipops or something, it's good. Way sweet. It's good, but it's crazy sweet. When you cut it with some butter on a pancake, it is a different flavor, maple forward, but a different flavor. This is that, and it's repulsive in white liquid form. It's awful.
I couldn't drink a whole can of any of these really, but that one especially, I think I couldn't have a whole can of. A little like 3-ounce taste is fine by me.
But that's what's so strange about all this. Is like, you could not drink a whole can of this. There are people out there drinking this like beers.
I don't think
like
so.
Other seltzers. So they're just doing
think
what we're
most
doing.
People are doing what we're doing. They try it or they buy it out of curiosity and let their friends try it.
We're just all like a meme. That's what we do. We're things out of curiosity. We're shit posters. We're shit talkers. We're like, oh, I drink maple pancake because this is my life now. Because we're able to do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
What are we all doing? Why are
we're just trying to pass the time until we die, Joe? What do you think we're doing?
Well, we're passing the time and bringing that date forward by drinking 6 of these.
Win-win. Let's arrange these while we're going through. I think the Nog is better
Nog
than the...
1, maple pancake 2 at the moment.
Okay, the better ones are on my side. Fitting.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What time is it? Okay, yeah, we're doing this before Pack Vikings tonight, so...
Pack Vikings, though, I mean, if we miss a little bit of Pack Vikings, it's a backup Minnesota quarterback.
Yeah, I know.
We'll miss a little bit. It's not a big deal. We owe it to the listeners.
We do. And it's freezing. It's the coldest game I ever played at Lambeau tonight.
Really?
Yeah, it might be, they said.
A miserable game then.
No precipitation, though, I don't think. I guess because it's too cold. Now we have to choose from... If it's too cold, it can't, yeah.
The clear skies bring high pressure systems, and that makes it colder. Or the clouds insulate the ground.
Yes. That is true. All
right, moving on.
We both took weather and climate at Madison. Yes. We should know this. Don't you remember when you used to know things too? Like we would learn things actively and know them.
I don't do that. Between knowing and not knowing is it's
gone. You're absolutely right.
Because you don't earn it. There's no friction. There's no earned thing. And my goal is to get healthier and lose a little weight this year. And I don't want to earn it. I'd rather it just happen. It's
Give me the pill, Doc. Give me the pill.
Give me the pill. Doc says, Joey.
You take a fistful of pills every day already, Joe.
You do. And
none of them are working.
And I'm going to wring your little neck. Come back in here in 2022.
Right. Your doctor. Did you get a new doctor yet?
He won't let me.
Oh,
he said
you're
I
locked
can't.
in? Okay.
Yeah. He locked me
You signed up for the lifetime subscription?
It's a monthly plan, and it comes in 5-year increments. So I pay him through an app.
In.
He's got his own app, and I pay through the app. In-app purchased. So Apple takes a cut, too.
Is it all e-visits at this time?
He insists I come in.
Oh, you still come in. Okay.
Yeah. So he lost his office. He lost his practice. Like his, I guess what you'd say is like his official practice, but he's still practicing, as anyone may. And I was just back home talking to our good friend Curly,
friend of the show, only.
And I
wouldn't consider him a personal friend of the show.
And I want to put it on record and say that I now think doctors are good, actually.
Oh, wow.
And I think
his heel turn from Joe on doctors.
And I think his assessment of my doctor is that I need to call the police.
I've been telling you that on this show since 6 months ago.
He's a good guy, though. He's a good guy.
Okay. I think a nice bridge to get us to the rest of the flavors is the apple cinnamon.
Apple cinnamon is next. So this is also the local company.
Yep, Three Birds.
Three Birds. Apple cinnamon. This one I could see being good.
Cheers.
I'm into this idea.
It smells very appley, like green appley.
Ooh, that's good.
Really?
Oh, I like that.
Oh, yeah. It is. It's like green apple flavor.
I thought it'd be more cinnamony.
So did I. Because they have like a red apple with cinnamon sticks on there. You'd think it would be more like
So a pattern is
cider
slightly
almost.
emerging.
It's not.
Pattern is emerging slightly, which is...
Bad branding?
Well, the fruit forward stuff, of course, is going to be good. Things with if it was cinnamon forward, cinnamon in a clear liquid is
you're right. You're right. You want it to be like a horchata, like a creamy thing if it has cinnamon in it. Yeah.
And this is better. I could drink these. I could have one and not
it's
be
not
in
bad,
misery.
Yeah. Again, great mouthfeel. Like Three Birds did a great job with that. It's very drinkable. And you're right. The flavor is not bad. It is better than I expected. I don't think I've had this one previously, actually. So that's pretty good. It tastes like those green apple suckers.
It does. Jolly Ranchers, kind of. Tastes like a green Jolly Rancher.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Jolly Ranchers?
It was never what I picked out of the bunch.
Stick to your teeth. And it really hurt when you...
Right.
You had to unstick them.
Right. Yeah. And then you got it like deep in the crevice of your back teeth all day. And I never brushed, so it was all week, really.
There, the Jolly Rancher brand, to me, that's one of the laziest candies. Like there's just it's just nothing at all. It's just
just sugar and
hard
flavor,
Yeah. Real bad.
I know. I always went for the like chocolatey type things. I feel like
too.
we've talked about that before, but yeah, just much more interesting. Snickers bar, Reese's bar,
Texture.
Three Musketeers. Yeah.
Texture
differential.
So we were at a young age rejecting this artificial flavoring on any type of texture. You know my theory about Skittles and even Starburst,
Uh-oh.
they're all the same flavor. We just believe they're different
Your
flavors.
incorrect theory on this.
Starburst, I'll give you. That one is very clear that they're different. But Skittles, they're all exactly the same.
Please. Okay, if I ever remember, if I had a memory, I would do this. I should put it in my phone so I do remember to make you try Skittles. They are not the same flavor.
Write on that notepad, make Joey try Skittles, take a picture of it, and your phone will remind you that you've had that
in 1
memory.
year from today, it will remind me that I
They're the
did
same
this.
flavor.
Okay, I'll put it in my cold cans notepad that hasn't been touched since July.
I actually think that I have a weird palate in terms of that sugary type flavor. They do taste the same to me, but I also understand.
Joey, have you
had
COVID your entire life and can't actually taste anything?
I had COVID before everyone had COVID. I had COVID in 2018 when it was the cool to have COVID.
It used to be cool, yeah.
Yeah, I introduced the world to this pandemic. My doctor, I'm telling you, my doctor took me on into his
sabbatical.
Well, he has kind of a home lab, and he exposed me to a few things to kind of try to get me to be resilient to different viruses and bacteria.
Yeah.
So he's exposing me to viruses, bacteria, himself, like all sorts of things,
bodily fluids, things like that.
And I think that made me stronger, but I also think it meant that I introduced COVID to the world.
Wow.
Yeah, and started this pandemic,
so
which
it was
was
your
a shame.
system that kind of mixed
my
things
doctor's
together
system.
to create. No, your body, like the system in there
was the perfect
created
storm.
COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a shame that I did that.
That's too bad. You fundamentally shifted the world
For the
forever
worse.
and for the worse. Yeah.
But
so
hopefully, I'll never have another opportunity where I'd fundamentally shift the world in any way again. Like, I don't
You don't
see
think
that
so?
happening on the horizon.
Oh.
So hopefully we're just 2022, healthier life, but also no more fundamental radical
shifting the world
We're
and
done.
creating
So
further divisions among us.
yeah.
Okay,
Further
so
divisions among. Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
apple cinnamon,
Number
one
for
spot.
me.
Okay, I
Clear-
agree. I agree.
In fact, I'd start tiering them.
Okay.
3 different tiers. There's a 1 tier, there's a 2 tier, and that's the nog, and the 3 tiers maple pancake. It's pig shit.
Okay. I like that. All right, your pick now. We
my
have
pick.
cranberry, hot chocolate, and holiday punch.
We're gonna go holiday punch
Okay.
next because I feel like that's a decent segue from the apple cinnamon.
I like it.
And let's have a check in here now. Are you feeling any kind of tipsiness? We're not drinking very much.
Right. We've only had probably 3 ounces of each one. No, I don't really feel tipsy. These are all 5%, I think. So no, I don't really feel tipsy. You?
I'm pissed up.
Oh,
No, I don't. But I do feel like by the end
that's
of the
probably because you
tasting,
haven't
I will-
been drinking much lately. So it's like this little bit
this
impacts you.
The first drinks I've had since July when we recorded last. Cheers.
Cheers. Here's holiday
Oh, we're
punch.
cheersing now. Holiday punch.
The branding, by the way, on these Three Birds cans is nice. I like the graphic design.
No, I like that.
I like this one too. It tastes like fruit punch.
We might have a new number 1.
Yeah, this one is probably the most drinkable
New
of the ones we've had. It
Sorry.
just tastes like fruit punch. Like it tastes like Hawaiian punch, like a diet Hawaiian punch,
Hawaiian
basically,
punch.
because it's not overly sweet.
Hawaiian punch, great. Yeah, that's exactly what the flavor is. Holiday punch, Hawaiian punch.
It makes sense.
Mali Kalikimaka.
Mali Kalikimaka, indeed. That's the wise way to
Glad
say
we
Merry
both-
Christmas.
As soon as I saw your eyebrows go up to say something and whatever,
knew,
I knew
yeah.
you were saying Mali Kalikimaka.
That's also
nice.
what we did in the hiatus is merge our brains. If that wasn't already obvious
That
from past
podca-
Cold
yeah.
Cans episodes.
There's a reason that the few people still listening say, I can't tell you guys from one another.
Yeah, it's not just the
both
similarity
fucking
of
idiots.
voices. Yeah. You're dumb and have dumb thoughts.
You both had interesting characteristics and things to talk about, and then got together and picked the least common denominator amongst all of them. And now
You
you
made
have
that
this,
your entire personas.
yes. So now you're just this kind of boring piece of fucking mud, like just mud people.
Yeah, we're mud people. You created COVID with your mud, and then I just echo that. I'll create the new COVID.
I'm gonna not have mud by the end of 2022. It's gonna be well formed. All right, holiday punch number 1 in my estimation, and in the top tier.
And I think in the same tier.
It
as
doesn't
apple
create
cinnamon.
a 4th tier.
No, simply can't.
What are these tiers called?
Oh boy. So they should be like holiday themed, I guess.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say Fruit of the Loom at number 1, but that doesn't make any sense because they're fruity.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah.
No, shut up. It's not that.
Fruit of our loins. That's a saying.
Fruit of our loins.
And it's sexual.
Okay, Fruit of Our Loins
It's a very
is the top
sexual
tier.
podcast. That's what people have usually told me when they are like fans of the show. They're like, I just like the kind of raw sexuality that you guys emit on the show.
The sexual tension is palpable between these two.
Yes.
When the Seattle Times did a big write-up on us, they
Yeah.
said that. The sexual tension was palpable between these two schlubs.
Do you want? Oh, you still got a little Holiday Punch. I'm going to go back for Holiday Punch. So that's a sign. It's the first one I've gone back for.
Yeah, that is a sign. On this show, we have two mud people. Their sexual tension is palpable.
Mud pies on that show. No cream involved in these drinks or the pies.
All right. This
I know,
has
that's
been
done. I
too
tried to get away
sexually
from that stuff.
charged.
I know. I tried to get away from that stuff.
I have coworkers listening to this.
I'm sorry.
Again, no, you shouldn't be sorry. They should be sorry for listening. You should feel bad out there, and you got to stop listening to this show. All right. What do we have left?
So my thought on these two, we have hot chocolate and cranberry left. I think the cranberry would be a nice palate cleanser. That's like the most basic of these flavors. Bud Light also previously released cranberry. So they made 3 new flavors for the holidays and then threw their cranberry one in there as an afterthought.
Bullshit. That sucks.
It does suck. It's lazy.
It's
we don't do anything lazy on this
Jolly
show.
Ranchers. Yeah, I know. We've been preparing this episode for 6 months.
Yes.
Bud Light can't get another flavor out there.
Oh, we've had interns working around the clock on this. We've been working around the clock on this.
We have.
So I think cranberry, because we're going to have chili for the game.
Yeah.
So we need a palate cleanser. I think cranberry can come last. Let's do hot chocolate.
Oh, okay.
Now this would typically be, you're capping your night with a little cup of hot cocoa.
Except this is a clear liquid.
It's a clear liquid and cold.
I think I'm not going to like this cold hot chocolate.
And you haven't had this one before,
I've
correct?
never had this. Oh, I hate it already.
You hate the smell. Okay.
It smells like it smells like you took sort of plain unflavored sparkling water and mixed hot chocolate powder into it. And
I think the smell is better than expected. It's like subtler than expected. You just took a sip.
I mean, it tastes like hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Something off.
Yeah, it's got a chemical-y feel to it, which is the first time out of all of these, surprisingly.
Because it's not hot. I don't want cold hot chocolate.
Right.
I wouldn't make a hot chocolate, put it in the fridge. And so, yes, you're kind of making it taste like a fucking carbonated version of hot chocolate, but then serving it cold. There's something. It's wrong.
I agree. It's just, this is the one that they didn't make any part of it palatable. Like the maple had some redemption to it. The nog especially did. This is in the bottom tier and I think below maple pancake.
I'm good with I don't know, but I'm fine. Put it in the bottom tier, put it below.
Okay.
It's debatable which one's the worst, but they're bad. That's the mud tier. So we have the Fruit of Our Loins tier. We have a second unnamed tier. And we got the Mud Boys tier down here. And,
yeah.
We're a couple of mud boys.
Yeah, we are. Should we just say the 2 tier on the second one? Just to keep it with the scat talk we've had throughout?
Yeah, I suppose.
We took a 2. Taking a 2.
Taking a 2 in the mud tier. All right. We
bottoms up.
explicitly said we weren't going to make this kind of show in 2022. You said, I want to get away from this. And all we've done is
when we
talk
said
about
that, I
sex
thought we
and
were going
scat.
to get more explicit in the show. That's what I thought you said. I'm sorry. That's just a miscommunication.
Okay, so that we're not going to call it that anymore. It's
Okay.
not the number 2 tier.
No, it's the dignified middle ground. It's the middle ground.
The
It's
middle
what we
ground.
need.
This country could use more Bud Light Seltzer nog in its politics.
It's the Jared Polis, or whatever
Jared
his name
Polis.
is, the Colorado governor. People love him.
You're talking about like Manchin or something.
Ugh.
He's basically on the right. Not basically, I mean, he is.
Okay.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
Right.
Stop.
Cranberry.
You've got to crack it. Now, that one is still pretty cold, actually. That can was cold. I think that was in the back of my fridge. That's why a little bit colder. Yeah. Split them. Split the ears. No, I'll lower that can cracking in post.
There are no more commutes, and nobody's listening to this. People don't listen to shows like this. Their ears aren't going to be split. You don't have time. Why would
No
you
one's
ever
going to listen anyway.
Why would you ever turn this on? All
when
right,
you
here
want
we
to have
go.
a little fun.
Like when you're doing like laundry or something?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
Hey, do you... All right, let's try this first.
Try it.
I like that one too. All the fruit
It's not
ones.
bad. It's very straightforward.
Yeah, that one's good. It's just that's every hard seltzer you've ever had. That's a White Claw.
Yep.
They all taste the same.
And cranberry's not that unique of a flavor. I think a lot of brands have made a cranberry one, and it is nice.
Holidays?
Yeah, like cranberry, like canned cranberry dish.
Oh, yeah.
Like the can of cranberries. Yeah, but people do it at just the holidays in general because cranberries are harvested in the fall, I believe. So they're like made during the winter.
We have an expert.
We do have a cran expert.
Tweet at us if you're out there. You know who you are, cranberry expert.
Yes.
And let us know when they're harvested.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what. If you're out there, Brooks Maddock, pick up a Bud Light cranberry seltzer on us. We'll Venmo you.
We will.
Yeah.
Why not?
We're not going to Venmo. We don't have that kind of funding.
We should have sent him a wedding gift. He was married since the last time we did the show,
Brooks.
I believe. Yeah.
Married in a cranberry bog.
Yeah, those hip high waders on.
That would actually be kind of cool.
That would be very fun.
That'd be fucking sweet. It'd be confusing, but it'd be sweet.
Mm-hmm. He should at least get baptized or whatever he wants to do in a cranberry bog.
Baptize their first child in a cranberry bog.
Yeah. Yes. I
a cranberry farmer.
So yeah, this one's not bad.
He should at least get baptized.
At the very minimum, some self-respect, and at least get baptized in a bog.
We were baptized in a bog, the Mud Boys.
It wouldn't be the first time I saw a little red hard balls surrounding me in a body of water. Okay, now I'm feeling. Now I'm feeling them. I don't know. Bloody stool.
Oh God! I thought you were doing balls like testicles.
No, that's vile.
Corkers, turn it off. I've told you 3 times.
Go back a minute and turn it off. Okay, so that's so probably.
I know what my top order is.
Okay, so this one,
we get 3, 2, 1.
It's only good because it's non-offensive. I don't think it's on the subject of holiday seltzers, it's the least imaginative one, but it is the most drinkable. So I would put it below those top 2.
Okay, I was going to put it in between, but I'm comfortable with it below.
Okay.
I did like the apple one a lot, but it's in the top tier, but below the top 2. So
sure.
Our fruit of our loins are 1 holiday punch, 2 apple cinnamon, and 3 cranberry. And then we have a middle ground tier, which is the Bud Light Seltzer. What is it called exactly? Seltzer Nog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just an awful name, too.
Yeah, the word nog is not great.
And then the Mud Boys down here at number 5 and 6 are maple pancake and hot chocolate. Atrocious drinks.
I'm curious, and
you're curious.
I have my phone out for Google.com. What nog actually means?
Interesting. Yule. Nog.
So this says it's an archaic noun meaning a small block or peg of wood.
Yule log. Nog.
So that doesn't exactly solve why it would refer to this.
It's like log, but nog. Little block of wood. That's a little nog.
Nanolog.
A nanolog
is a nog.
I'd like to have some egg nanolog. If Mark Zuckerberg gets his way, we're going to have nanologs.
What?
Nanologs is the type of stool I'm trying to avoid. 2022.
Yeah. It also says...
Oh, yeah.
It's early 17th century of unknown origin, so that also is... and it's...
Well, that offered nothing.
I know. That's too bad. Then any beverage made with beaten eggs, usually with alcoholic liquor, eggnog, strong ale formerly brewed in Norfolk, England. I don't know.
You've been working on your accents, haven't you? Because that's really good.
Thank you.
Those are really good.
Nog was a type of strong ale that was mixed with eggs to make the festive drink previously. So Nog was a beer previously. Connecting it, of course, to the theme of cold cans. And to Bud Light.
Cans. Yeah, so we didn't have any beers, but obviously we're going to go right back to having beers after this.
That's
so
the
we
theme
just
of the show.
A fun new year.
Yeah.
It won't go
We
on
live
the
in
rankings.
a world where Cold Cans is about beer at the end of the day.
Yes. And I know you got your gluten problems, but I know you've been kind of sucking it up and doing the beer anyway, and I will always appreciate that.
I got it out, and the next morning is hell for me.
But that's what you do for the listeners.
That's right. Do you want anything else to sip on? Do you want to go back to one?
Holiday Punch.
Okay, back to Holiday Punch. I went back to Apple Cinnamon.
You got segments lined up there?
I think, what do I all have written down here?
Nick wrote some things
one thing
down.
we didn't talk about, I booked an Airbnb today for our writing retreat.
The Cold Cans Retreat.
The annual retreat.
And remember, our top Patreon subscribers can join us on the retreat.
Yes, they can. For merely $1,000 a month, you could join us.
Yes.
No expenses paid trip to the writing retreat with us.
You booked an Airbnb without consulting me about whether I was interested
free cancellation. And we talked about it previously.
It
was the one we wanted.
Yeah, nice. Sweet. Where was that again?
It's like in Anacortes. So on the Sound.
I love that place. That should be a lovely retreat. We're going to do we'll probably make some content while we're there.
Yes. We'll brew something up.
We'll have delicious beers. Nick gave me 2 wings. That's cool.
I did message the host about the plumbing as well, so that it is sturdy.
Well, I'll be diamond by then, diamond platinum status by then. That's great. I'm looking forward to that retreat, and we have great beer-focused Cold Cans content coming for all of our beer heads out there.
There's no
brew boys.
There's an endless supply of beers in the world,
and that's the thing. We thought we'd stop at 100, but there's so many more that need to be integrated into the rankings.
Yes,
we're going to do it forever. I know you guys bared with us for 6 months. But absence does make the heart grow fonder, and I hope that you stick with us because our best days are to come. And the best beers are to come. We haven't even had some of the best beers in the world. We've had like Rodenbach, a couple, but like we're actually planning on drinking some of the best beers in the world. Like if you're going to get sick, it's going to be hell tomorrow anyway. You might as well have one of the best beers.
That's right. Suffer through quality.
So that's kind of a little hint at what's to come, which is kind of fun. We had some other like really cool ideas. A lot of charity related things. We'll be giving a lot away. Like I think that's a thing that you and I have both talked about. Like the wealth we've amassed with Cold Cans isn't something to be hoarded.
No.
And you're going to see next year with this beer focused specific podcast.
Yes.
Some really cool charity stuff that we're going to do. We're going to get you guys involved. We're going to give a lot away. I don't know. I'm just really, really excited about the direction of this show at this time.
Me too.
It's great.
We're fully a 501c3 at this point as well. So we paid no taxes.
Yes.
It's great.
Our lawyer is just beaming and nodding. Winking.
Yeah, winking as well, which we asked him to cut down on, especially when we appear in court.
He's got he brings around at this point a big, giant burlap sack with a green $sign on it. And it's just filled with something. I don't know.
And his eyes are like permanently stuck in a wink at this point.
Yeah, and his other eye is a $sign. And his new contact or something he got.
Yeah. Okay, I think that brings us nicely, speaking of charity, to the gift portion of our show.
Yes! So we got each other gifts for the holidays.
I'll level with you. I sort of forgot to get you a gift, but I got these delicious limes.
You're going to give me one of those
from
limes?
Safeway, and I'm going to give you a lime. And you should make it.
So
it's
Nick
drinks
didn't know I was
themed.
bringing a gift.
I didn't know. He told me just before the show, and I didn't get you something.
And
I'm sorry.
Me. He's reaching back. He's grabbing me one of these limes. That's a rotten lime, and I guess it's
the flavor.
Sometimes these limes do have like that brown. Like, aren't they beat up when you buy them? You get limes like that once in a while, where it's like it's got like a scarring to it. This one's got a lot of scarring.
That's got a lot of scarring.
But no, 100% serious. I buy limes like that, and then I cut those in, and I'm like, I don't know if I want this rind in my beer. But with this lime, I'm happy to do it. I'm going to put the lime, I'm going to pop it right into this holiday punch seltzer.
That makes sense.
It's a very kind gift of you. It does kind of seem like it was whatever was in arm's reach. And you did have some cool like coffee related stuff in arm's reach that you could have done, but you grabbed the lime out of the fruit
It's a drinks focused podcast. I want to get you to drink to put in your beers.
Delicious lime. We'll send a picture of this delicious lime
to put in your beers. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got you an actual fucking gift, and here it is. unwrap that.
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
Is this?
Now you might be a little confused.
I'm a little confused. It's one of my favorite beers.
You are probably aware that Bud Light has gone through a kind of a rebrand. So you might be looking at this bottle of Bud Light Lime to be specific.
Yes.
So I got Nick a couple of empty Bud Light Limes.
This is so cool.
You might be looking at it and thinking to yourself, hey, this is the old Bud Light logo that's pre-rebrand.
Right.
Well, that's because, Nick, it's an antique.
Whoa.
So this is for sharing on your mantelpiece, this is an empty Bud Light Lime.
This is legitimately cool. Where did you get this? Where did you track it down?
This is where the story kicks in. If you have Delta Platinum status, which I do, and I know you don't at the moment.
I do not. Ever since the hummus thing, they have not allowed me to get any status or anywhere near the Delta terminal in any airport, really.
Yeah, and at my guidance, they transferred all of your miles and status into mine. So what happened is, with my Platinum status, you get to pick like which perks you get. And so some of it's like free upgrades or like access to the lounge, things like that. But one of them is entrance to a new Delta lounge that just opened outside of the airport. So you can do a Delta lounge anywhere you are these days. So they're opening Delta lounges outside the airport. They open one at the base of the Space Needle. So you go to those elevators. So
this is in Seattle.
It's in Seattle. You go into those elevators and you show the guy your Platinum status, and they open a little hatch in the elevator.
What does the Platinum status look like? Like, how do you prove that you have Platinum status?
It's really cool. It's a card, and it says Platinum on it. So that and that's sort of the ironclad. And it comes with an NFT, and the guy verifies that you have a Platinum NFT. Anyway, you push the button. It's a secret button. They kick all the other chumps out of the elevator. It takes you down below the Space Needle. And there is a local fun antiques shop down there. And that's kind of part of the lounge. So you can do some shopping. So I do some shopping. I start talking to the guy. And he says, wait a second. You're the Joey Glock from Cold Cans, aren't you? Oh. Yeah, he recognized me.
He's a fan of the show.
And I was like, well, it's awesome that you're a fan of the show, because actually why I'm down here is I'm shopping for holiday gifts for Nick, my friend Nick, that you know because you're a Cold Cans fan. He said, Joey, I got the perfect gift for you. He goes behind the fucking counter and he pulls out the 6-pack of Bud Light Limes, empty Bud Light Lime bottles that we got rid of in Capitol Hill. And he gives me these bottles.
When we did we recorded our Bud Light Lime episode.
So what you're holding in your hand is the original Bud Light Lime empty bottles from the one we recorded. And he gives me a little wink and he's like, there's a little bit more to it than that. I got to let you know.
This store sounds so cool.
Yeah. He charged me. He upsold me because he found out who I was, but that's fine. And he said,
he still charged you even though he's a fan of the show?
Yeah. We got into
fisticuffs?
Well, we got into 5 figures is what I was going to say with the cost of these. But here's what he did.
The show has been doing well, so that's a drop in the bucket for you.
He said a lot of people haven't touched this, even though the big fans of your show have come down here since then. They haven't touched this because there's rumors that, and this is kind of silly, but I think it's a fun thing to tell you for your gift. There's rumors that there's a genie in these bottles. Isn't that fun? So he said the guy who gave it to me was looking a little haggard, whatever, and he said that he had 5 of those bottles. There's one genie with 1 wish in each bottle. That guy has already rubbed 5 of those. 5 of those are gone. The wishes are gone. He kind of reprogrammed society or something. Apparently, that was Jeff was his name.
Jeff. Never liked that name.
You used it for immense wealth and stuff, and something to do with an internet company that he made. So then there was a 6th bottle that still has the genie in it. This guy hasn't used it.
We did drink a lot on that.
It's this one here in the corner.
Bottles.
I'll pull that out, and that's it. So isn't that fun? You got a little genie in a bottle. Yeah.
A little genie in a bottle. That's a nice, very thoughtful gift, and it makes me nostalgic for that episode. Mm-hmm. And also for when I was still drinking beer. This makes me nostalgic for.
Yeah. That's why I thought it would be nice.
Nice.
So
there is a wish still in here.
Yeah, there is allegedly a wish. But,
okay.
Whatever. That's dumb. But you can have this as a kind of antique piece that people can look at when you're hosting parties. You say, hey, look, there it is. And they'll go, those are the Bud Light Lime bottles.
Damn.
So.
Well, thank you, Joey. That is an incredibly thoughtful gift.
Yeah.
And I am sorry that
you gave me a fucking lime.
Yeah, I forgot.
It's okay.
Okay, as we're wrapping up here, so I guess, what should I do the wish? Why not?
It's dumb, but yeah, sure, do the wish. But before we do that, I just wanted to say we have an unbelievable slate of content coming up for you with Cold Cans.
Yeah,
We
I'm
have
really
the best
excited
beers
about
in the
it.
world. Nick is going to manage it with his gluten issues, but some of the best beers in the world
Yes,
coming
I
up.
might sip and spit some of them just to
Little sip and
save the digestive tract.
And things are going down the track, not the
Wow.
digestive track.
Hey,
They're going, well, maybe they are.
they're chugging along the track.
The Mud Boys are taking Cold Cans to new heights. You're going to expect regular content. We're reinvigorated.
Yes.
We're going to drink some beers. All right.
Okay.
Make your wish.
My wish in this bottle. What? I mean, I do miss the time when I could drink beer with you and not really feel bad about it. It was one of my favorite things to do, crack a beer with a friend.
Oh.
So if I had one wish, it would be, there's no gluten in the world.
Okay. Oh. You hear that?
Oh. Oh.
Oh, shit. What the... No way.
Oh, it stinks.
Is that...
It's me. I'm back. Brian Harrelson.
Joey,
I don't
it's
know.
Brian.
No, I don't like what happened. I didn't like that there was a...
Shut up. When you flushed me down the toilet,
Now, allegedly,
Oh, yeah.
our
lawyers are here. They're up.
I don't
He
care
took
about
out
your
his
lawyer any
contacts.
longer.
His
Your
dollar
lawyer.
contacts. That's why
He should wash his hands before he takes it.
Just stop it. When you flushed me down the toilet those years ago, I thought hope was lost, and I saw a light. And I walked toward the light. At the end of the light, a man approached. He was an enlightened man. A man filled with zen. Told me his name was Brody Ovac. And as the gatekeeper toward the light, he let me enter what he called the RSS feed. And as I entered the RSS feed, I saw my mind was open to the limitless possibilities, enumerations of possibilities between ones and zeros. Sometimes you could make a 1, sometimes you can make it a 0, you could chain them together and have ones and zeros. And what we discovered was the multiverse, Brody and I. The multiverse of Cold Cans RSS feed. And with that multiverse, I've been hanging on, surfing the feed, while looking for universes, worlds, where life could be a little bit better.
Oh.
For an audio engineer looking to get his start in Seattle like myself. And that nobody should ever have to go through what I went through again, including Matt, who's currently still on the ones and twos.
Yeah, Matt.
Don't get on the mic.
You're okay. You're safe.
Shut up! I've been trapped in the RSS feed, funneled through these empty Bud Light bottles where you mercilessly murdered me those years ago.
So you've been living in the Bud Light lime bottles from that day we
surfing the
did
RSS
episode?
feed
Oh my gosh.
until tonight when you rubbed me. And you rubbed me out. And I escaped. And at that moment, knew what I needed to do with my knowledge of the RSS feed and combinations of ones and zeros as I established previously. You understand what I've established.
What does the RSS feed give you access to?
It gives me access to a multiverse for Cold Cans, where every combination of possibility for this podcast has been realized. Now, simply, somebody like me, somebody who's entered Brody Ovac's afterlife, who Brody charged me and then entered the RSS feed.
Oh my gosh.
I'm able to comprehend every permutation and combination of possibility, but for rudimentary mud boys like yourselves, you're not able to.
Explain it to me.
Yes, you're able to. Shut up. You're able to choose one branch, and you've governed that branch. You've already made your choice. You don't get to choose anymore. You've chose a life without gluten.
Oh, that was my wish.
That's right. Come with me toward the light. Brody's at the end. Brody, say hi.
Gentlemen, approach.
Oh, this fucking guy. Nick, I don't want to
Shut up,
world.
Brody. Enough.
Okay, peace to you, brother.
Cold Cans Nation has 5 choices. There are 5 worlds for which gluten will no longer be an issue for you, Nick. And it's my duty to introduce all 5 to you.
I won't have to worry about gluten at all.
You'll
And
worry
it
not.
wrecking my guts.
Your guts will be wrecked not.
Wow.
Next week on Cold Cans, 5 universes without gluten.
We gotta wait a whole week? Why? What are we gonna be doing in the RSS feed?
Are we gonna hang out with?
I don't know.
Brian.
Brody can hang out. Brody's been around for a while, and I'm used to the bottle. Brody.
Brothers, enter. Zen is here. For the next week,
The whole fucking week with this guy.
you will find Zen.
5 choices next week on Cold Cans.